Hey guys, Brian delivered you the goods here. I'm returning to you this early morning, or not early morning, late morning, I should say, going into afternoon time soon, for a album review. And this is for Through Fire's new album, Devil's Got You Dreamin', that I just got done listening to. Their newest album that did drop today. Sorry I didn't review it sooner. I was supposed to review it yesterday, but I got so sidetracked with other things, with family friends coming over and my sister coming over, because my sister's planning on moving um, in like I think tomorrow sometime. So basically on Saturday, of course. So I'm gonna be discussing what I listened to for Through Fire's new album, Devil's Got You Dreamin', and let you know my thoughts on their, I believe, third studio album is what it is. So let's dive into this album review. Now it starts with the first single, Karma Kills, which is the first song on the album, and I illustrated in the last review I did of theirs, I think it was Over the Influence, and I personally got my facts wrong because I thought Lose It was the first single, which it wasn't. It was the second single. So Karma Kills was the first single that came out late 2022, sometime in October. But it's a pretty good track in my opinion. Grant's vocals sound really good, aggressive, and just the production and how the song's sounding overall, I'm really digging this track. 5 out of 5. And the lyrics are pretty on point to what the song is talking about. So, yeah, 5 out of 5. Dead Winter is a pretty amazing track. Really like this one. Grant's vocal potential is amazing in this track. The drums and guitar work is pretty good. Pretty normal, I guess you could say, of a track. Like, good music that I'm listening to. So, pretty much 5 out of 5 from what I gathered with this track. Wake Up, I wasn't sure if I was going to really feel for this at first, but after a couple listens of restarting the album many times, because I had to make sure I gathered my initial thoughts on everything I've listened to, so 5 out of 5 for Wake Up. It's pretty good. There are some moments where I don't know if I feel for it with the chorus, but it still does pretty good with the lyrical content. Lose It is the second single we got back in, I think, February or March, if I remember correctly. It wasn't that long ago, if I remember correctly. I think it was February, if I remember correctly, if I'm being honest. So I might be messing up with the dates that it came out on. But still, Lose It was a really good track. Really like this single that they dropped back in February of this year. And it's a pretty good second single and pretty good track on this album. So 5 out of 5. Heal Your Wounds is a solid song. I just don't know if I'm connecting with how it's sounding with Grant's vocals, in my opinion. But I think the track did alright. So 4.5 out of 5. For the Last Time, I was hoping I'd like this one, but when the chorus kicks in, it does pretty alright, but I think it's the verses that kind of drag it a bit, and I just don't know if I'm feeling for the verses. So 4.5 out of 5 for this one. Prevail is, I like Grant's vocals in this track, it's pretty good, but the lyrics just kind of, I don't know if it's connecting with his vocals, in my opinion, with how he's singing it. So 4.5 out of 5. Then comes Over the Influence. It was the last single for this album before we got the album, which is, of course, today. And it's a pretty good track, in my opinion. So really digging this one. And a 5 out of 5 for this one as well. I like how it's sounding with the lyrics, like how Grant's singing it, and I like the guitar work and drum work in it. So yeah. Devolution is a solid track. I wasn't sure if I was on board with this one. I think this one was the one that came out in March, if I remember correctly. Um, I think at the time I gave it a 5 out of 5, but as I kept listening to it, I'm not sure what I rated it when I reviewed it back in March, but I remember not being my favorite song, but it's a good one in its own way, but it has some weak tendencies, weak moments in the track. So 4.5 out of 5. It's mostly with the chorus. Blindsided is a pretty strong track. Really digging this one with how it's sounding. So 5 out of 5. Grant's vocals is pretty good. The lyrics are on point with how the track's overall flowing. So 5 out of 5. Straight Jacket is a pretty good track in my opinion. Really like how Grant is singing the track, and I like the guitar work and drum work in it. It's just connecting very well over me with how the track is sounding overall, so 5 out of 5. Satellites is a solid track. I think when you get to the last two tracks, that's where it kind of declines a bit, this album. So, yeah, 4.5 out of 5 for Satellites. I don't hate this song. I just don't think it's my personal favorite, but it's a good track in its own way. Solid for what it is, so, yeah. The Road is a decent song. I just felt bored with this track, in my honest opinion, as the closing track. It's nice, but it just felt boring with how it ended this album. I guess it ended it in a good way, I guess, but the problem with this song is it's so boring. It's not that I hate it, it's just decent. It's just one of those boring, decent songs, I guess you could say. So 4 out of 5. Overall, production, mixing, and execution-wise, I think Through Fire's new album, Devil's Got You Dreamin', is a good album. Just has one song that kind of brought the rating down a bit, but not as much. And a couple other tracks, I got 4.5 out of 5s. 4.5 out of 5s. So, pretty much, if I were to give Through Fire's new album an overall score, I would give Devil's Got You Dreamin' album an 8 out of 10. It's a good album. It's much better than All Animal, in my personal opinion. It's not the best album, but it's good. It's not going to be on my best albums of 2023, which is a shame, because I was hoping this would be a lot better than I thought, because they were going in a more heavier direction with this album, but it is what it is. They did some tracks that I just don't know if I connect with. The Road it's a decent song, but it has its boring tendencies with how it's overall sounding, with how Grant is singing it, and the lyrics just hit or miss mostly. So, yeah, 8 out of 10 for Through Fire's Devil's Got You Dreamin' album. Thanks for watching, guys.